Hello, all, a very warm welcome. My name is Louis Allen, and today we are going to talk about one of the very fundamental and one of the very important things that we all come across. We all encounter that, and we all have our different ways of coping up with it, and that is how to handle a low energy day. And today we'll be joined in our discussion by chakra healer from Colombia, Erika Platin. And before that, I'll brief a little on the topic until she joins us. And when we talk about having a bad day is not just something that things go wrong and we don't know what to do. It's a lot more than that. When we say a bad day, we don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to handle the energy of what we are coming across. Or maybe it is just causing some upheaval in our chakras, and that means a lot. That sets us off balance, and it's all an entire process of getting our balance back. That is when we can make a bad day into a not so bad day until we make it a good day. So, today we are going to talk about this in further more detail, and with us is Erika Platin. She is a chakra healer, and I'll tell you, an amazing, so pleasant and nice. Hello, hi Erika.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's so amazing to have you on our live once again.
I know it's been a while, no, since we last saw each other.
Yeah, right.
It's very, very nice
It's
to be back.
Yes. There's been a lot of happenings and a lot of things they happened like in this time, but
I
the
know,
good
I
part
know.
is, yeah, we are back on track and we are back with everything, and this time I think with a bang. So
That
we
is
are
amazing.
starting out with the series.
Yes, we all always have the opportunity to just get back on track. That is the beauty of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a very warm welcome to our kind viewers. Thanks for watching, and we would appreciate if you want to add some comments and even ask some questions. Today's topic of discussion is how to handle bad days. So,
Very, very
Erica,
important topic these days, no?
yeah, absolutely. So, Erica, how about you begin with talking about like how do you cope up with bad days, or how do you define a bad day?
Well,
What's your
first of
definition?
all, I would like to talk about a very different, a very important topic right now that most of us are a little unaware of, and it's the moon cycles. No, like the moon cycles are very important, and then we are very unaware of what happens when right now we're in no moon zone, or like the phase of the moon. There is no moon here. What happens is that the moon it's controls, or like it is mainly about water, no, so like we ourselves are absolutely molecules of water. So the moon cycles affect the water inside of us. This means that everything, like when the moon changes, we also change. So these specific days are very important because we are feeling this kind of fluctuation in ourselves, because the water in ourselves, it's the unbalance, no, because there is no moon, no. So this
There's no
is one
moon.
of a very important thing that we don't know much about, and if we understand what it is, it will help us to be able to work a little better with that, no, because a lot of people say like, oh, I don't know, I am feeling very down, but I like there I don't have energy, I don't feel like doing anything, I don't feel like exercising. But we need to understand that our bodies also work in a like global we are a part of a whole
A
thing,
global,
no, it's
right, a global community and maybe the global
yeah, like
energy that is present out there. Right, absolutely. In fact, like so are the high tides and the low tides. what we feel about the moon and what we can directly see out there in the oceans and also on our beaches. So is with us. People ban people from coming onto the beaches when there are high tides. And similarly, like we should practice for ourselves when there are high tides. We need to go about certain practices to keep ourselves safe and to keep our emotions in a balanced state.
Exactly. So I was looking for that thing. We are part of a universal consciousness, no? So like we are part of the universe and we can't just ignore that fact. So that being part of the universe allows us to feel what it's going on around us. And the moon, it's also something that it's in a big charge. It's very responsible for it, no? So where I was going is that the moon, it's like in charge of our feminine energies, and it is like a very well connected with water. So when we understand that and we start working on that, for example, in these days we can totally start working with water. Water is very emotional. So I don't know if you guys, everyone that is connected are aware, but then when you start working with water and start talking with water, you can charge the water, and water feels that emotions. If you it and the same thing happens with us. So if we are going through a difficult phase and we keep on saying like we are incapable of doing things and we keep on like programming our subconscious mind with negative things, all the water in our bodies are going to absorb that, and like we're going to stay there for a longer time. But if we start working in the contrary and we start helping our bodies and like programming our minds in a positive way, all the water inside ourselves, it's going to be in a positive mood. So like these fluctuations and this depression or sad moments are going to uh, like move away from that, and like it's going to help us like move a little bit forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, when we talk about emotions and water, they are directly comparable. Emotions, we cannot compress them, so we cannot compress
Exactly.
water. We can hold
Exactly.
water for some time, but we cannot hold it till eternity. It is going to find its own way, and so does emotions. We can suppress them, but when they come out, they can even break dams. They can cause a lot of havoc. And if we build even dams there, we can channelize the power of our emotions to lighten the world. And
Exactly.
emotions, they can lighten up our lives, like they can give us a lot of light, a lot of direction, and a lot of peace, prosperity when they are channelized properly, when they are channelized in the best manner possible.
Exactly. So
That's the life. Yes. Yeah,
So
please go
for
on.
the topic of today, like how to manage our emotions and like how to be aware of that, one of the good things is like first acknowledge them, but also like start charging ourselves with positive vibes and positive energies. And one of the main things that we can do is charging the water. So a lot of people say like what do you mean charging the water? Like it's kind of weird.
Mhm.
And talking to the water, people are like, why are you going to talk to the water? No, but it is actually a very powerful
Very
ritual that helps a lot, because if you charge the water you're consuming, and actually we consume water like all day long, it will help us to nurture and like to cleanse and to embrace those energies and emotions, and to make them in like positive. So you can like, it is not that difficult to take the glass of water and talk to the water and say how much you love it and how much you appreciate it, like hydrating you and nurturing yourself. And that will be very powerful for you to feel like boosted in energy, and it will help you like to boost up your energies and to stop the fluctuations in your emotions.
absolutely, absolutely. That's a very big thing which we can do, and it can change lives. It can change moments, and it can just do that. Like it's magical when we feel it, the way it
Absolutely.
happens. It's pure magic.
Yes. One
So when we
other,
talk about,
sorry.
sorry, yeah, go on. You can go on. Sorry.
No, no, I was just thinking also that one very important thing that we can do is I keep on insisting a lot that one of the main things we should do is acknowledge our emotions and try to understand where they're coming from. Try to understand what they want to tell us and like what is the root cause of like that feeling, no? Because the moment we look back and try to understand this is what I'm feeling, but why am I feeling this? Because I
Mm,
am maybe taking things personally, or maybe I am just absorbing energies of the other people. So, like the moment you realize what is going on around those emotions, it is easier for you to acknowledge them, but not let them like control you. No, like it's
control.
very important
Right.
to feel the emotions, but not stay there like forever, but just like let them be felt,
Mm,
but also be gone.
right, right. That's being letting them go is kind of more important than also accepting at the same time.
Exactly. So
So like
it
a
is
lot of people, sorry, like a lot of people when we talk about, they even come for sessions, and they have done the course of the inner voice. They come up with questions that they when they wake up, they just don't feel good. It's not something they're feeling good, and they just call it a bad day. They spill, for example, they start their day and by mistake they spill some water, they spill some coffee by chance. And when that happens, it makes an impact on their brain that, oh, I'm going through a bad day. That happens with like a lot of people out there. So, what would be your, what do you think? What they can do to turn that around? Turning that, like I talked about in the beginning, from a bad day to a not so bad day to a not so good day until it becomes a good one. We gotta work upon it.
To be honest, I think it's more about us judging ourselves and like uh, hitting ourselves too hard, because I don't think there is a bad day, you know, like every day can be as good or as bad as you want it to be. So, like, if you start the day thinking that it's a bad day because you spilled the water, it is going to be a bad day. And of course, we're talking about energy and we're talking about vibration. So, like, the moment you wake up, you start saying, like, everything is going wrong, everything is going wrong. Believe me, you are going to attract everything to be wrong. So, like, even if you go out in the park, the bird is going to poop on you because that is what you are attracting. Instead,
Right.
if you see things in a positive way, like, oh my God, I spilled the water, it's whatever, it's fine. And then you go throughout the day just like feeling positive and like seeing the positive and not the problems and not the negative, like you're going to be attracting that. And that simple thing, just changing the negative to the positive, is just like a mind switch like that. It will make a bad day a super great super successful day, because you are setting it up and you are setting the vibrations and the energies. So stop hitting yourself,
Wonderful.
stop judging yourself, and accept the things. We are humans. We are allowed to make mistakes. It is not bad to do them, but it is bad to stay there. I was going to say something there. It's like we need to think of the 5 rule. So like you have to think, is it going to matter in 5 minutes? Is it going to matter in 5 days? Is it going to matter in 5 months? If it doesn't matter, spilling the water, it doesn't matter. So why do you have to get mad about it? Why do you have to affect yourself in that way and get like super offended and super stressed about it? It's not going to matter. So like don't waste energy and don't waste time on things that are like absolutely um, non-important, no? Because you can use that
Absolutely.
energy in a positive way.
That's, in fact, I would say, quite wonderfully quoted. It's not just what has happened, but it's also our outlook onto that. The way we are looking at it, the way we are accepting it. Because once we accept it, that's the beauty of acceptance. The form of the emotion, it changes. It just
Absolutely.
changes its form the moment we accept it. It just comes to a dead end and it takes a turn. And so is
Exactly.
what we can call bad day. Like it's something that had happened in the moment. We are meant to go through that. We can accept what has happened, but we don't have to carry it. It's a choice.
That is a very important word. It is a choice. And we choose to make it a good day or a bad day. It is just like it is in ourselves to make it. The most important thing is the way we react to that. So, like, if we want to make it a big deal, it will be a big deal and it will keep on being a big deal. But if we can just let it go because it's a silly thing, or we just woke up and hit ourselves with the bed, that doesn't mean the entire day is going to go wrong. We just hit ourselves with the bed. Like, stop giving so much importance to it and be
Mhm.
uh, like understanding about yourself, because that is also self acceptance and self love. Stop hitting yourself. Stop um, judging yourself too hard. It is okay to make mistakes. It is nothing wrong. You just have to move past it.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is so well said. And also, just like what you talked about, the emotions and accepting the emotions. And it also depends on the moon cycle, the way it affects us. And if we can just get in touch with the variation of what's going on outside and the way it's affecting us, we can have a hold on to it and we can get to know that, okay, this is something which is going to happen. I can't change it, but I can be okay with it. I can just accept what's coming up and tune according to it, tune my frequency or tune my life, but just for some time tune my days according to that. That helps a lot. That really means a lot.
Yeah, actually, it's something that I have been thinking a lot this week, because a lot of people, like, as I said, we're not very aware of the moon, and a lot of people, like, are not very interested in that. And you don't have to become like a moon expert to understand it. You just have to understand that everything has a cycle. So, like, the moon has a cycle, and when there is no moon, well, the water, there's no water, like it's less water, so like the emotions are going to be low. When there is full
Hmm.
moon, there is a lot of water, so the emotions are going to be high. It's just like that.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens with nature. So, like, if it is raining a lot, so like you just have to fluctuate with the surroundings you have, no? And there's a lot of people that actually get super depressed when it rains. You don't have to get depressed. You have to embrace your surroundings and be part of it. If the moon is low, you don't have to get depressed because the moon is low. You just have to work with that and work with your vibrations to charge yourself. And when the moon is high and then there is a sunny day, you just have to work with the sun and like be grateful for it. But it's just um, a way of you working with your surroundings, and not letting your surroundings affect you in the way that you're just like super bipolar because all your emotions are fluctuating. Just like understand your emotions, try to manage them, but then also try to manage yourself with the movement of the surroundings, what is happening around you, because as I said, we are part of a universal consciousness. We're not just alone here, we're part of an entire universe. And the moment we realize that we are part of the entire universe and that we get affected by everything that is around us, we are able to work with that, no, work with our energies, work with our vibrations, so like we are part of that whole thing.
Exactly. And acknowledging our emotions and not letting them control us. That is the key of going about it. Because the
Absolutely.
moment our emotions they start to control us and we just lose everything. It just we are riding that wave endlessly because there's going to be no possible end to that.
Yes, yes, that's it's very important to that. Like I will highlight that because I think that that is one of the most important things. It's letting them control us. It is okay to
Hmm.
feel low. It is okay to feel sad. It is okay if you want to cry, just cry. But don't let that need to cry control your entire day and ruin everything, because it doesn't make sense. You don't have to stay there. You can just cry and just like, I call it a 5 minute victim mode, that every time that I am super, like, I feel very, very sad, I just like, okay, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes to be like in a victim mode. I'll just cry and like, and then that's it. I'll just move on. I don't have to stay there forever. It doesn't have to take me 1 month or one year to get over it. Just like in 5 minutes, I allow myself to feel it, and then I just like, okay, now it's time to go back.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. That's quite important and that's quite well said as well. Well, with this, we would like to conclude our today's session, where we talked about how to handle a bad day. And it's not just a bad day, it's about handling our emotions, rather managing our emotions and doing the best in our lives. So I would want to thank our viewers and I want to thank you, Erika. Thank you so much for
My
joining us.
pleasure as always.
Looking forward to more of our sessions which are coming on the way. We'll be meeting every Friday, 7 p.m. Stay tuned, stay blessed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a good night.
Bye.